Jagrata, Jam Masters. If you're sincere in your growth, you're going to find out that there are two very important but very distinct ways that you grow spiritually. One is outside and one is inside. They both lead to the same result, but as you'll see, one is much, much faster and much surer. What does it mean outside? We have inside of ourselves urges, drives, desires, preferences, hopes, dreams. That's inside. And we try to satisfy them, compensate for them, make ourselves more comfortable having those by doing things outside. So if you're lonely, you try to find somebody. If you're insecure, you try to protect yourself. You try to do all kinds of things, all right? If you don't feel worthy, you try to impress people. So the inside drives the outside. And it can happen, and it does happen, that if you get things the way you want them, you feel better inside. And if you don't, you feel worse. And if things happen the way you don't want them, you feel terrible inside. So that's the interaction, the natural interaction in the inside and the outside. I know it's hard for you to believe. I'll just say it from the beginning. There is no relationship between the inside and the outside. There's no relationship. The inside is completely separate from the outside. The relationship is something you create inside because you're not okay, and you think, how can I be okay? Well, when somebody loved me before, I was doing better, so I need to get somebody to love me. You tied that relationship. I'll prove it to you. You find somebody, oh, they love me. I feel wonderful. Then you find out that they love everybody, and they tell everybody they love them. You don't feel so good, right or wrong. Nothing changed outside. It is the relationship between what you created inside. You tied the outside to the inside. And so now they're tied together. You do it all the time. You decide what you like, and then if you get it, you feel good. You decide what you don't like, and if you get it, you feel bad. Well, what if somebody else likes what you don't like? Then they feel good. There's no tie. I mean, physiologically, yes, with your body, but not your psyche. Your psyche's empty. Your psyche's completely clean until you dirty it. Until you decide, I won't be okay until she loves me. Well, if everybody else loves you, no. It has to be her. Why are you laughing? It's just that's the way it is. Well, what if somebody tells you they love you? Well, then I feel good, really. In an intimate moment, you're saying to the person, oh my God, I love you so much. I can't even handle it. I'm just melting. And they don't say anything. How you doing? You did that. A moment ago, you weren't telling them how much you love them, and you felt fine. Now you told them how much you love them, and you expect something back, and what you get back is, yeah, I love you too. They said they love you. That work? No. You decide. Do you ever change your mind? Everything changes when you change your mind, doesn't it? You're doing it. So, basically, the growth outside is as follows. I'm inside. I'm not okay. Let's start there. I'm not okay. I need things. I want things. I'm afraid of things. I define inside, using my intellectual mind, logical mind, what needs to happen outside so that I will feel better, and what better not happen outside so I feel worse. I hope you can relate to that. You're doing it every single moment of your life. You've done it every single moment of your life. Now, what happens is, when I go out of my way to try to find somebody who loves me because I don't feel loved, I create a pattern that ties the outside to the inside. If that person behaves in the way I think they should, and you're very, very detailed, don't kid yourself. Understand that? If they show up on the third day with a bow tie on, and your Uncle George wore bow ties, and you didn't like them, I don't feel so good. I don't think we should go out tonight. Yes or no? Just extrapolate it into all your little things, okay? Well, let's say they show up with a boa constrictor wrapped around their arm. Well, it depends, right? If you grew up in a household where there were snakes all around and it was neat, right? Oh my God, are you kidding me? How'd you know I like that? You're doing it. So now you go out there and you interact with this person, place or thing, it doesn't matter, and you feel better. Then they do something that isn't what you want, and you feel worse. All right, now that's outer growth. We're going to start with some outer growth. What do you do about that? Normally what you do about that is say bye-bye. Isn't it? Maybe not just one thing, but sure 2 or 3. How many does it take? How many does it take before it's bye-bye? Now what's going to happen? What's going to happen is whatever was wrong inside of you that made it so you needed something, they tell you needs are normal, natural. Physiological needs are natural and normal. Psychological needs, 0. You have 0 psychological needs. You have 0 psychological needs. You have 0 psychological needs. And they won't tell you that. And that's a problem. A being who's cleaned up inside and is filled with love all the time and feels nothing but rushes of Shakti pouring inside themselves all the time, they will tell you that. There are no needs. You have needs inside because you've blocked your energy flow inside. There's a natural flow of it. You're going to say there's a river of joy that flows inside of you. Go there, get in, and drown. Okay, that's yoga. It's there. If you're totally depressed right now, it's there. Period. If you've been depressed for 5 years, it's there. There's nothing you will ever do, ever, no matter what it is, no matter how terrible it is, no matter what you've ever done, that will ever make that not be there. It's like somebody does a terrible thing. Some people, they're in maximum security prison, they do terrible things. Their heart beats, their lungs go in and out, their blood flows through their veins and arteries, right or wrong. Not going to stop it. Well, this is spiritual blood. This is spiritual Shakti. This is a rush of holy waters they talk about in the Bible. It is yours. It is natural. It has never stopped flowing. It will never stop flowing. Period. Well, why don't I feel it? It's so easy to explain, but you won't pay attention. If behind me is an entire beautiful freshwater lake, but I've never looked behind me, every once in a while, wind blows off that lake, and it blows spray of water onto the rocks on the beach. And I'm really thirsty. And so I'm sucking the rocks. It hurts sometimes. They're hot. Okay? And that's my life. That's how you get water. Hello? Turn around. That's where it's coming from. It's there all the time. Go jump and get in and have some fun. No, why? Because I need to pay attention to the vapor on the rocks. What are you, stupid? I'll die of thirst. I'm not going to turn around. What's back there? No, you don't even know there's a back there. How you like that? It's not that I'm not going to look back there. You don't know there's a back there. Why? Because you're so distracted by in front of you. What is distraction? See, some words that don't seem spiritual are very, very spiritual. Distraction is an extremely spiritual word. Until you get to understand distraction, you will never reach the higher states. What does distraction mean? I'm a conscious, aware being. Aren't you? Yeah, you in there? You aware? Hello? Anybody inside? Okay? I'm a conscious, aware being. What am I aware of? That which you're distracted by. Things happen outside. They come in through your senses, and they draw your awareness toward them. Does everything do that? Well, everything does that naturally, but maybe for a second. I always tell you, I like the white lines on the road. You didn't think they were spiritual. They're your teachers. Why? You drive by them all the time, and you just experience them. They pass. They don't distract you, do they? You don't keep remembering about that was dotted 3 miles back. You drive past thousands of trees all the time. You drive past cars all the time. They don't normally distract your attention other than for the moment that they exist in your consciousness. Is that fair enough? That's how everything's supposed to be. You're watching a movie. The frames of the movie, they keep going. They keep moving. You're watching it, okay? You don't stop and say, oh my God, I can't believe what he said 10 minutes ago. Well, then you didn't watch the movie. You got caught, distracted. You got distracted by the fact that somebody said something that your mother used to say in the way that your uncle used to say it, and they used to fight, and there you went bye-bye. Isn't that what distraction means? Something caught your awareness. It caught your consciousness. How did it do that? It was there in the frame for one moment, and it went away. It's not there anymore. It is inside of you. because it distracted your awareness to pay attention to that thought or that event or whatever is going outside. I said a moment ago, cars drive by you. Oh, come on. There's cars driving by all over the place, right? They don't distract you. You see them. You don't cross the road when they're coming at you, all right? But when they go by, you didn't go with them, did you? Unless it was a car like you had when you were 16, and you had this boyfriend or girlfriend, and that car, it was an oldie man, and it drove by, the same color, same thing, right? You better get off the road. I don't want you driving. You got distracted. It stayed in your consciousness. It distracted your awareness. That's what distraction means, okay? 99.9% of every single thing that ever came into your senses did not distract you. Notice, it doesn't mean you didn't see it. It's called be here now. That's what be here now means. It's not struggle, I'm paying attention. Okay, I see, I'm here now. No, you're not. You're busy being here now. Okay? Your be here now is a natural state. I told you, 99.9% of every single thing that came into your senses, you will be here now. It came in, you experienced it, it went. Okay? Well, that 0.1% is a booger. Okay? Because that means that basically one out of thousands of cars drove by and it didn't make it by you. It did really. It's just a movie thing. The frame went away. But you didn't go with it. You stayed with this. It distracted your awareness. Therefore, that's what you're experiencing. So that's what happens outside. Is you have an issue inside, you define what needs to happen outside, and then some things distract you. They only distract you if you got something going inside. All the cars pass by. A tree could do it. Oh, look at that tree. It's tilted the way when I was growing up. I used to climb a tree like that. And you're gone. Bye-bye. You got distracted. Every single thing that comes in through your senses is exactly the same as every other thing that ever did and ever will come in through your senses. What do you mean? It's a thing that came in through your senses. It's a thing that's out there. You're in here. It's all the same. It's all the same. It's just in yoga, the deep teachings, we talk about consciousness, that's you, and object of consciousness. That's it. It's something you're aware of. How's that? That's what everything is. It's something you're aware of. What are my thoughts? Something you're aware of. What am I feeling? Something you're aware of. You are aware of them. Oh, excuse me. Can you get distracted by a thought? Can you not get distracted by a thought? All right? I forgot to ask you. Can you get distracted by an emotion? Can you get distracted by an emotion? All of a sudden something comes up, reminds you of something, or you felt something, right? And you're gone. Bye-bye. All right. That's what's happening. Is you're in here and things distract you. Not many. Most of them just come in. Just think for a moment what I just said. How many things really come in through your senses? All the grass, all the clouds, raindrops, like billions of things come into your senses. You don't hold them in there. But some of them you do. Why? Because you have something going about it. You have something inside going, a problem. And by the way, if I talk about the fact that there's something inside that's a disturbance that you don't want to happen, or talk about something inside that you really liked in the past, you want it to happen, same. They both distract you. You're madly in love with somebody and you see somebody from the back, it's not them, but boy, that heart goes, all right? In other words, if you have something going, and you know what I mean by that, you get distracted. If you don't have anything going, you don't get distracted. We can talk about what happens if you don't get distracted toward the end, because that's the highest thing that could ever happen. That's what it means to be enlightened. What? Everything is what it is, and it comes in, and it leaves you around you. How? In ecstasy, in that river of joy I was talking about. We talked about a moment ago. Why don't you feel that joy? Because you're getting distracted. Pulls your consciousness away from it, and you pay attention to what you're distracted by. So I use the analogy of the lake. All right? There's no way you're going to know the lake is there. Why? Because you're completely distracted by the moisture on the rocks. And you keep looking at that as the most important thing in the whole world. My relationship, my finances, what people think of me, how many likes I have on Facebook. Come on, man. It's serious distractions. What do I look like? Am I getting older? Distraction. How many distractions you got? Okay? But I'm telling you, you think you have a lot of distractions? Not even close to how many things that don't distract you. Things are just there. I'm going to give an example. Go outside, and there's going to be a rattlesnake out there. There's also going to be a whole field and grass and trees and clouds and wind and people. No, I don't think so. You get a little distracted by that little old rattlesnake. How much room did it take up on the planet Earth? You're distracted by that thing. You getting it? That's why you don't see the river of joy that's behind you. That river of joy is the nature of consciousness. I told you I'd do it at the end. Okay, we'll do it now. Literally, everything has a nature. Rattlesnake has a nature. Wind is a nature. Storm is a nature. Sun is everything has its vibration, doesn't it? Okay? The vibration of consciousness itself. You who's in there that's aware, not what you're aware of. That's the whole essence of spirituality. You are in there aware, but you're aware of things, and they're distracting you. If they weren't, you'd be aware of being aware. So you would never be pulled out of the seat of self. That is the seat of self. You, the consciousness, the awareness. It has a nature. In yoga, they call the nature Satchidananda, eternal conscious ecstasy. It's a state of complete ecstasy that's always there and always has been and always will be, and you're aware of it. Who wants to go there? Okay? That is the highest state. Those are the states. You are that. You're there right now, but you're being distracted from it by the rattlesnake or by the car or by the thought. You hear me? You're always distracted, aren't you? You don't realize that. You think, no, I'm not distracted, because you're saying I'm my thought, and it's not distracted. You're distracted by the stupid thought. Okay? So basically, that's the starting position. Now, what happens? I was talking about spiritual growth. How does all that fit into outside spiritual growth? You're not okay inside. Your mind defines all this stuff that needs to happen. Something starts happening outside, and it hits you just right. You get distracted by it. All the same. There's distraction because you don't like it, or distraction because you do like it. When you get deep enough, you understand that's what it means. They're the same. They're both distracting you. One feels better. Okay? All right. So let's say you just get distracted, but that makes you feel good. Now, I want you to see there's a tie that you created between the part of you that's blocking your Shakti flow, that's blocking the beauty inside of you. There's a reason you're distracted, okay? Because you're blocked. If you're not blocked, that flow is so strong, it distracts you. Now you're getting somewhere, all right? When you get distracted by the ecstasy, come see me. Okay? So basically, it's not. So it reaches outside. The energy reaches outside to try to compensate, satisfy what's wrong inside. And you develop a relationship, not just people. You have a relationship with every single thing you're distracted by. Don't you? Your dog, your cat, your fifth grade teacher, who you still think about. You're distracted by things. Then you have a relationship with them. So when it reaches out, now what's going to happen is you're going to go through what's called outer growth. What do you mean? Meir Baba called it sandpaper. You're going to get what you want, it's going to be taken away. You're going to get what you want, it's going to be taken away. You're going to get what you don't want, it's going to turn okay. Just back and forth, back and forth. Law of opposites, yin and yang. Is the world not sandpaper? Answer me. It always works out good? Okay? And you think that it works out good, that's godly. And the great ones teach you, when you're going through your growth, what does that mean? I'm going through my growth. It means it's not working out so well right now. I'm going through some serious growth. You say it, don't you? I'm going through some serious growth right now. It means it's not working. That is your growth. Because eventually, and God knows how many lifetimes it's going to take you, you will find out the answer's not out there. That the reason I need something and I'm reaching out there is because I have a problem inside, not outside. And it seems like it's going to solve it. Does it? Does it all the time, every single time, all your relations with the outside work out just wonderful? And stay that way? Never. How's that? Never. Well, people who do have relations, they stay together. Yeah, they stay together for the kids. No, you can have beautiful relationships, but they're not based on the fact that I'm not okay and you're going to make me okay. I feel insecure, but if I drive around in a Rolls Royce or some fancy car, I feel much more secure. I had an experience once, a long time, I can't believe I still remember it. I took my daughter, we used to take vacations together during spring break, and we went out to L.A., all right? And we're on Rodeo Drive, that's what it's called, and that's risky stuff. And somebody has a Ferrari in the middle of the road broken down. I don't think that worked real well. I mean, that Ferrari, it was a very nice Testarossa. It was meant to be a status symbol, et cetera, et cetera. And now, how embarrassed are you that your Ferrari's broken in the middle of a day of drive? That's how it works, isn't it? So basically, this interaction between you and the outside world is good for your growth. Not because you get what you want, but because you're going to find out eventually, maybe I'm looking for love in all the wrong places, as the song goes. Maybe it's not true that he who dies with the most toys wins. Maybe these things are not true, that more is better than less. Maybe it's not true that being rich is better than not being rich. I know a lot of rich people, they see shrinks more than anybody else. And good ones, they pay a lot for them. I told you once, and I know it's true, and some of you know some people, you know it's true. If you are the number one richest person in the world on Forbes this year, and number 3 next year, you have a problem. You have a problem. Because it wasn't about the money. It was about, I'm not okay, and I need recognition, I need feedback, I need stuff to make me feel okay. You're using the outside to try and fix the inside. I'm using the outside to try and fix the... I told you, I kept talking about inside, outside, all right? I'm using the outside to compensate for the fact that I'm not okay inside. Eventually you catch on and say, that doesn't work. The outside's out there. I'm the one... Well, what if you're a Franciscan monk and you're never supposed to touch money, and you were kidding and you bought a lottery ticket and no one knew anything about it, and you freaking won the lottery? What do you do now? How can you be a Franciscan monk with all that money, right? And why'd you buy the ticket, right? So it's not that any one thing works. It's the combination of outside, inside. You hear me? And you're going to find out eventually that the outside cannot fix the inside. It can compensate for it. That's a big word. The example I always use, my Pepto-Bismol example. You're eating terrible food. You're just making yourself sick. Coke and Peeps. And you're sick to your stomach, right? But you have the solution. You keep lots of Pepto-Bismol in the medicine cabinet. All of a sudden, a friend comes in, and you're frantic. You're frantic. He's never seen you look so sick, so bothered. He said, what's wrong? I can't find the Pepto-Bismol. That is not what's wrong, buddy. What's wrong is you have a stomach ache. That's why you need the Pepto-Bismol. And the reason you have a stomach ache is because you're not eating properly. That's what's wrong. But you're saying Pepto-Bismol compensates for it. Therefore, that's what's wrong. That's what you're doing with all your life. I need money. No, you don't. I need people to love me. No, you don't. I need respect. No, you don't. You do because stuff you have done inside yourself has messed you up. You blocked your natural flow. That's why you're not okay. Not because somebody doesn't love you, not because you didn't get the money, not because you don't have the corner office. That's not why you're not okay. Those are attempts to compensate. Use the outside, and I say it again, that's an attempt to use the outside to compensate for what's wrong inside. Okay, what happens when it doesn't work? You get hurt. You get burned. Well, you know what happens if you touch a stove? You get burned. Eventually you learn it's not good to touch a hot stove. Maybe eventually you learn it's not good to try to compensate for what's wrong inside with the outside. That's why you're given many, many lifetimes. I understand. We're very dumb. What happens in a relationship? Ever since high school, junior high, you're in a relationship and it breaks up. Somebody dumps you. What do you try to do? Get another relationship. Immediately. Right? It's on the bounce back. What do they call it? I don't know the name for it. What? Rebound. There you go. I thought that was basketball. But so you immediately go back. You've gambled and you lost your money. You go back to gamble again. You didn't learn that you tried to compensate for what's wrong inside with the outside, and it didn't work. That's supposed to be your teacher. If you go to school and you say 2 + 2 = 5, and your teacher sits down and says, no, it equals 4 and stuff like that, right? And you keep saying, okay, all right, I'm going to a different teacher. I guarantee you, somewhere 2 + 2 = 5, and I'm going to find it, okay? You just keep going back and doing the same thing. You don't understand the problem is it doesn't work. Not that this one didn't work. You cannot take care of the inside with the outside. You can compensate temporarily. You can distract yourself purposely. Forget the things distract you. You can purposely distract yourself so you don't have to feel what's going on inside. You do it all the time. your vacations, your this, your that. I need to distract myself from myself. Do you ever distract yourself from yourself? Do you ever not distract yourself from yourself? Once in a while, when just the right person hug you in just the right way, and when you say, I love you so much, they say, oh, I love you too. Oh. It worked. I distracted myself, and all right, so you're understanding this relation with the inside and the outside, as I keep talking about. The problem is you blocked your inner flow. That is the problem. That will always be the problem. How do I know? Because while it's blocked, you're out there trying to take care of a compensation, and good luck. And when it's not blocked, you're in a state of complete well-being. What does that mean? I just sit at home and don't do anything? No, I've talked to that before. When you're filled with love and filled with inspiration and filled with energetic Shakti, you want to express that. Now I'm going out to give, to share, to interact, to express the beauty that's inside of me. I'm not going out to take, to find what will make me feel better because I'm not okay. Big difference, isn't it? That's why they say the spiritual state is one of giving. And then you say, okay, if I give and I get my name on it and I do all kinds of stuff, I'm a giver, now I'll get God. That's not giving, that's taking. You're giving in order to get something. You go to a marriage counselor. Listen, everything's not going to be perfect for both of you. You need to give on Tuesday, and you need to let go of your stuff on Thursday. And on Wednesday, you can fight, all right? In other words, well, I'm not okay. No one's going to tell me how to be okay. They're going to tell me how to compensate and cope with the fact that I'm not okay. That's a big word in psychology, cope, isn't it? You have to learn to cope. You do not. What way is that to live your life? I'm coping. How you doing? I'm coping. It is certainly better than not coping, than freaking yourself out. There's no question. But don't you ever sell yourself short. You're the most beautiful thing ever walked the face of the earth. The reason you don't feel it is you're blocked it and you're distracted by the things that you think will either make it worse or make it better. And so you're out there messing around with the world. Okay, we're talking about growth. That is the slowest growth. That's karma. You never hear me use the word karma. You know, it's amazing. Most people, yoga teachers, say, go karma, karma. All right, I don't, because there's a complete misunderstanding of karma. Karma is not a punishment. That's your karma. You got what you deserved. No, that is not what karma is. Karma is you're going to interact in a certain way. It is going to come back to you based upon where it came from inside of you. And you have an opportunity to grow. Karma is a teacher, not a punishment. Yes, it's true. If you hurt somebody, you'll get hurt. If you sit there and rip somebody off, eventually you'll get ripped off. But that's not a punishment. It's a teacher. It's a sandpaper. Get, give, it goes both ways. And eventually, hopefully, you'll catch on and say, you know, it wasn't worth it. What wasn't worth it? It wasn't worth it to lie and to take this and do that and that kind of stuff, right? And then hurt her or him, and now I got into a relationship and I'm not feeling so good, and maybe I shouldn't be like that. Hooray! Hooray! What if you hurt her and stole everything, did everything, and you felt wonderful? Well, you go do it again. But that's not the way it works, does it? For a while it does. How many of those do you need to do before you end up in jail or whatever the heck it is, to where you wake up and say, oh, that doesn't work? That's growth. That's how the outside world deals with what you need to grow. All right? You are naturally attracted to it or repulsed by it based on your inner state, your stuff. You then interact accordingly, and it will come back accordingly. If you're so scared of everything that you never deal with it, you don't have money, you don't have anything. What's the problem? The problem is you got blocked and you're scared and you don't do anything. Or you're so needy that you grab things, or you take advantage of people because you have, you know what I'm saying? Eventually it's like just hitting you, hello, 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 hello. And you say that's the bad part, right? Like, getting what you want is so overrated, it's ridiculous. Avoiding what you don't want is so overrated, it's ridiculous. The question is not getting what you want, avoiding what you don't want. The question is, why do you want that? What is wrong inside of you that you can't drop down on the most beautiful planet that we've ever seen anywhere, right? We're out there searching all over the place. We didn't find anything, not an amoeba, not a protozoa, anything. And you've got to drop down on this planet. There's all kinds of things going on. It's very exciting, but you're not okay. Why? I told you why. Because you're so busy trying to make it be what you want so you can be okay and avoid what you don't want so you don't feel worse. Instead of, why am I not okay? That's the difference. I teach that all the time. When something doesn't feel good and it doesn't feel good inside, it's not what do I do about it. It's why. Why? How can I drop down on the most beautiful, exciting planet for a handful of years? Don't worry, you're not staying. Don't worry about it. Okay? How can that be? You must admit this is a lot nicer than Mars. Well, okay, there's dirt, and Venus is gas. Go anywhere. We've got the Hubble and the James Webb. We're looking everywhere. We never saw anything but balls of fire and rocks and sand and gas. That's all we ever seen. They're all excited if they see water. Oh, well, you got water. Right? You turn a faucet, you got water. You are living in the most amazing thing that could ever possibly be. Are you not? But it doesn't look like that, does it? Why? Because you're not okay inside. And because you're not okay, because you blocked this flow of Shakti, of energy inside, you're blocked and you're looking for things outside that will distract you from yourself so you feel better. That's an amazing vacation. We went to Norway. I saw the thing was so different. Okay, go back 16 times in a row. See what happens. Nothing. Hey, you went to Hawaii last year. I got all these pictures. It was wonderful. Where do you want to go this year? Well, not Hawaii. I've already been there. Well, you just said it was wonderful. It has to distract you. It has to distract you from your issues. It has to be new, doesn't it? It has to be exciting. Whoa, it's so neat. And they're out there teaching you how to get the vacation that's exciting instead of what's wrong with me. And so understand, you're using the outside to compensate for what's wrong inside. Everything. It's not right or wrong, right? Every single thing you're doing, you're using the outside to try and compensate what's wrong inside. Trying as hard as you can every moment of your life to do that. What is going to happen is little by little, you're going to catch on. They don't work. That maybe when you were young, you had dolls or little toy trucks. They were real important to you, right? They didn't quite cut it, did they? Kind of fell off. It's like you learn. The world teaches you that it's not about what you think it is, and that trying to get this thing is not going to really solve anything. That's why you have to keep trying new things and so on and so forth. Master called that the walking path. It's a very slow path of trying to cut through your stuff, of learning due to the opposites. It gives you what you want and it takes it away. Doesn't it? Doesn't it give you what you want and take it away? I know none of you ever had an experience where something or someone opened your heart completely so beautifully, by the time it was done, your heart hurt like hell. Anyone have an experience like that? All right, that's growth. You think, no, God blessed me, but then the devil did this. No. You're supposed to be learning. Don't touch the hot stove. It's not wrong. A stove has a purpose, but it's not to touch it when it's on. How many times does it take? You don't have to hate the stove. You have to renounce it. Listen to me. You don't throw it away. I'll never stove. Stoves are terrible. They can burn you. You come into a proper relationship, which is the stove is not about touching. It's not about this or that. It has a purpose. I'm going to use it in accordance to its purpose. Relationships have a purpose. They're not about compensating what's wrong with you. They are not about finding someone that compensates for your insecurities and your this and your that so that now I feel okay. You will not in the end, if you haven't noticed. Is it fair that I say that? Am I being negative? It doesn't do it. It is not meant to do it. That's not what it's there for. So then what's the purpose of a relationship? To share the beauty that you have found inside yourself and to be grateful for the growth you go through when it's not working. And not say, you used to open the door for me, you used to be like this, you used to treat me like that, I don't want, you don't do it anymore, I don't feel, no. More like, I used to need someone to open the door to prove that I'm okay and show respect. I want to use this relationship to get past that. I'm going to use you to go to God. Now I'm going to use you to hide from God. There, see? Relationships, perfectly wonderful. Same thing with money. If you have money, I have money. I hold on to it. I let people know I do. I feel better about it. I feel secure about it. Yeah, until the market crashes. That's what it's teaching you. It's teaching you it is not outside. It is not outside. There's nothing wrong with the outside. There's nothing wrong with the outside. There's nothing wrong with money. There's nothing wrong with relationships. There's nothing wrong with men and women and anything. You make it wrong because you tried to use it for something it wasn't meant to be. There are men. Really? There are women. Really? They're different. Really? Okay, fine. We're done. Not I prefer one or the other. You understand that? The outside is out there. It's really its business. The problem is you're not okay inside, and you're grabbing out there to try and make it fix you. And it won't do it, if you haven't noticed, and you're going to go through some serious growth, like touching a stove. Now, does that mean I shouldn't? I've not said what we're supposed to do. I'm just waking you up. That's outer growth. You can see it's slow, isn't it? You keep trying. You keep thinking that's the answer, don't you? Until eventually you start to wake up and realize maybe there's another way to go about this. Maybe there's a reason I'm not okay. Maybe there's a reason I feel need. The reason you feel need is not because you don't have what satisfies the need. See? Pepto-Bismol. The reason you feel need is not because you don't have that which you think will satisfy the need, but you think it is. You think the reason I'm not happy is I don't have this. You think the reason I don't feel love is because of this. You think the compensating factor, the reason you don't feel love and the reason you have all needs is because you're blocked inside. If you weren't blocked inside, you'd be filled with love and joy and ecstasy all the time. Now, that's the outer growth. It's very slow. All right, what's the other way to grow? The other way is the inner growth. They both start in the same position. I'm not okay inside. I don't feel comfortable. I'm scared. I feel need. I feel all kinds of energies that are disturbed. Sometimes I get depressed. Sometimes I get excited, and then it goes down. And it's a mess in there, right or wrong. Is there something I can do inside to work with those energies, as opposed to something I can do outside to try to compensate for those energies? That's the difference between outer growth and inner growth. And the answer is there something I can do? Yes, there is something you can do. It's called the spiritual path. But notice, it's not about renouncing the outside. So I spent time on the outside to start with. It has nothing to do with the outside. It has to do with understanding what's wrong with me. Why can't I be happy for a few years on the planet Earth? Why can't I be happy that people are different? I usually give a big, long talk about psychology says that you are the sum of your learned experiences. You're not. You're the consciousness that's aware that your psyche is the sum of your learned experiences, but it is the sum of your learned experiences. That's all that's happening. You've had experiences that made you feel better, you want to have them again. You had experiences that made you feel worse, you don't want to have them again. So that's what you're looking at, the sum of your learned experiences. That's very interesting. But the point of the fact is, you're not going to get the outside to repeat itself and be exactly the way you want. Well, what can I do with these energies that are not feeling good? You can work with them. You can work with them inside. You are capable of working with them inside. They're inside, aren't they? Where's loneliness? Out there on the pillow? Where's embarrassment? Where's greed? Where's all the kind of stuff? Where's hate? Where's love? They're inside. Now you say, no, that person makes me feel hate. No. That person stimulates the hate inside of you. How do I know? I just can't stand him. I can't stand him. He drives a Ferrari, and oh my God, it wastes gas, it does that kind of stuff, right? All of a sudden, the guy walks up to you. He's a good-looking guy. And just says, guy, I've watched you since we were in kindergarten. You walk on water to me. How do you feel about him now? You're doing it. So you're inside. You're in there. You already told me you're in there. You're conscious. You're an aware being. And all this stuff is inside. Why can't I work with it inside? What if I feel the need to change jobs all the time because I don't feel respected? I didn't get the corner office somebody else did. I didn't get a raise, and I should have got a raise. What if I feel like that, and I've had 15, that's my resume. It's really long. Each job lasted 3 months. All right? Well, what if now, instead of trying to find another job that will make me feel the way I want to feel and treat me the way I should be treated, I look at that inside, and I say, 15 times, 3 months of shut, maybe I'm looking for respect in all the wrong places. And I look at that, and I see the energy come back up in this job. It comes back up. I don't feel respected, not respecting me. I should have more, right? And I do an amazing thing. I look at it, and I say, I've seen you before. What if I don't go with you? What if I dare to work with this energy inside instead of outside? That's the spiritual path. Everyone's growing. They're just not applying their will to help the process. They're doing things that hurt the process. Let's take something a little more intense, right? I'm burning inside. I'm not comfortable inside. Something happened. I need to drink. I need to do drugs. What is that? That's trying to use the outside to drown out the inside, to distract you from the inside. Okay? Is it wrong? You tell me what's going to happen. No one does drugs because they're filled with love. No one drinks because they're filled with ecstasy. I just don't know what to do with this, so I'll get drunk. No one, ever. Never has, never will. All right? It's because you're not okay, and you're, again, trying to find a way from outside to compensate what's wrong inside. People do AA, right? And they have sponsors, and they have all kinds of things to say what? I feel the urge. I haven't drank for months, but I'm sorry, I feel the urge. And instead of going out there and doing it, letting it express itself, and letting that be the karmic pattern, right? Not negative. Let it be the pattern that will come back to teach you. Instead, you look inside and you say, I'm going to call my sponsor. Make me cry. I'm going to call my sponsor. I love that person. I honor that person. I respect deeply that person because they chose to do it inside. They sat there and said, I feel this urge. I know where it will go. I've been through my growth patterns enough. Don't pick up the bottle, pick up the phone. And that phone call is a sacred thing, isn't it? Because what you said was, I don't need this energy to run my life. I don't need the fact that I'm not okay to project that not okayness onto other people and onto the outside world, which is what I'm doing. So you make a phone call, or you sit down and say, God, I feel this need, I feel anxious, I feel anxiety, and so on. Sit down, breathe. Whoa. Do you know how much karma you just missed? Do you know what that means? That means you're ready to work with your stuff. You were conscious enough to look at that energy this time and say, I know where you will take me if I let you. There's a habit-formed pattern of expressing that energy externally, and this time I see it. I want to work with it in here. Okay? You save lifetimes. One event of such. Where would it have taken you if you went out there and went to the bar or did this or did that or cheated or who knows, anything? I don't want to use the words. If you went out there and expressed that disturbed energy, do you ever express disturbed energy? I'm telling you, when you're out there trying to find someone to make you feel better, you're expressing disturbed energy. I didn't feel love before I met you. Oh, I see. I told you once, if you meet somebody and they say to you, oh my God, you're my dream person. You have thought of for years since I was little. You are the answer to all of my problems. Run as fast as you can, all right? Because you are not that. They are projecting that onto you, and there's no way in the world that you are that. You don't even know them. If they're the sum of their learned experiences, and you're the sum of your own learned experiences, oh, you all had the same experiences throughout your life? Not even close. Therefore, you are not the answer to their thing. So now this thing happens. It happens where you wake up. And you're just conscious enough, and there are things you can do to help that. You're just conscious enough so that when the energy shoots up, you don't get sucked into it. You don't get lost. You're still there. It's called being centered, being conscious. You just have a moment where you get to see, I've done this before. It never took me anywheres. Yes, momentarily it feels better. But what's left, I don't want to talk about. Therefore, I'm going to deal with it differently. I'm going to deal with it inside. You can deal with it inside. All that stuff I talked about outside, you can deal with it inside. It's inside. You have great joy inside of you. You don't feel it because you're blocked inside. And so you take a breath, you sit down, you do something that helps you work with it inside. In yoga, those of you who are into yoga, they look at that energy and they say you raise the energy. You have different energy centers, and it tries to express itself through those different centers. Why? Because it's blocked at the higher centers. That's all. If you have to go out and do something or yell at somebody or do this or make this or whatever the heck it is and express itself in the second or third chakra, fine, nothing wrong with it. But you're not going to go anywhere. You're just going to keep doing patterns like that. And eventually you'll say, well, why can't the energy come up into my heart? Why can't I feel love? Why am I feeling anger? Why am I feeling insecure? What's going on? And you literally can inside breathe that energy up. That's yoga. Well, that's the deep teachings, all right? You can literally work with that energy to where it starts with anger, it starts with need or drives, and you breathe it up. You breathe it up. And there's things you can do with your mind to help bring it up. And you start working on yourself inside, and you bypass all this garbage, and you can find love inside. Why? Because it is inside. The question is why you're not feeling it. One, because you're busy going outside to try and compensate for it. And second, because you're blocked. Why am I blocked? I have 2 minutes left. I can explain the entire concept why you're blocked in 1 minute. You are blocked because events that happen in your life that you're not comfortable with, you shove them down inside. You suppress them. You repress them, suppress them, resisted them. I don't want to feel this. And you push it down. They're still there. Aren't they still there? Do they ever come back up? You ever dream about them? Can somebody say one word and you feel them shooting back up inside of you? They're still there. When you shoved it away, you shoved it into your Shakti flow. That's a true statement, I guarantee you. You shoved it into the channel where that river of joy is flowing. If there's a beautiful stream that's flowing, I start putting rocks in it, what does it do? It dams it up. It goes dry downhill, then floods above. That's what you did with your stuff. You couldn't handle it, and so you pushed it away. Every single thing you ever pushed away is still in there until you let it go. If Sally doesn't say hello today, and she's your friend, and you call out, "Hey, Sally, how you doing?" She keeps walking. Next time you see Sally, you're in trouble. In fact, you may not want to see her. You may avoid. One of two things are going to happen. Either you're going to avoid her. I don't want to see her today. She hurt me. She hurt you because she didn't do what you wanted. She didn't do anything. She had earbuds on. But it hurt you, didn't it? So either you avoid her, or the first word that comes out of your mouth is, "Yesterday I called out to you." What does that mean? It's still in there. Yesterday's over. Why didn't it just, okay, she walked by, the car drove by. Because you can't handle it. Because you got problems. You hear me? And you're going to try and use the outside to compensate or do something. Instead, you say hello to Sally, you feel rejected. You can. That's a natural human feeling. You feel some rejection. What do you do with it? That's what spirituality is about. Not did you feel it? It's fine to feel it. What do you do with that energy? I told you, one thing you do is never talk to Sally again for the rest of your life and tell everybody what a snob she is and how she's not a very good friend, or you avoid her. Or you look at that and say, 8.3 billion people on the planet Earth. They didn't say hello either. Work with yourself. Work with yourself. If the heart hurts, breathe it up. Breathe it. Look at it. Look at it. Love it. Hold it. Say, it's okay. It's okay. I don't even want to know why she didn't say hello. I'm going to sit there and think, maybe she had earbuds on. Maybe she didn't like me. Maybe George told her something about it that wasn't true. Come on, man. Have some fun. Eventually you wake up and say, no, I don't think so. I think I got some work to do. And it ain't about Sally. It's about me. And I'm going to do that work. When? Always. Everything that comes up that I used to go with, if it's a reactive type thing due to my stuff, I'm working inside. Will you succeed? No, you will not. It will leak out. You know what I mean? You can do more and more of it inside, but eventually you're going to see that, I'll try. This is my favorite. I used to do it all the time. I don't have to as much now, all right? Is you have something going with somebody, and it's bothering you. And you're going to work with a person, maybe somebody you work with, or whatever it is, relationship, and you're being a yogi or yogini. I'm going to work with this inside. I'm not going to say a word. I'm not going to say a word. I got it. I'm ready. And you walk out there, and the first thing that's out of your mouth is, "Why'd you say that?" Oh, no, you've never had that experience, right? That's called growing. That's wonderful. Now you're using both sides are helping you. Everything's helping you grow. You do the best you can to work inside, not suppress, not deny, not ignore. I see it. I'm not ignoring it. I'm going to work with raising. I'm going to work with staying conscious so I can help it out. Okay? You help it up. And if it falls, fine, good. That means you took a test. If you take a math test in 5th grade and you get 90% of them right and 10% wrong, that 10% are the ones that matter. That means you have something to learn. Congratulations. The person who got 100 wasted their time. They didn't learn a single thing. Who's better off? You learn. That's what life's about. Earth is a place that souls are sent to evolve. Earth is a place that souls are sent to evolve. How do you evolve? You evolve by working with your energy to the best of your ability every single time, and then working with the fruits, karma, the results of what happens for the part you didn't get so good. And you should honor that. I've taught you the new book. It was very deep in this stuff, Living Untethered. It says, if you do the best that you can, it's always good enough. Always. The best that you can is sacred. And what comes back from the best you can is your teacher. Don't you ever feel guilt or shame or anything like that. As long as you do the best that you can to work with your energies, to work with what's going on to the best of your ability, it's sacred, it's beautiful, God loves it. Yet all the masters will help you. Now, if you don't do the best as you can, not this time. I see it. I see it's my stuff. I see it. I don't care. I don't care. I'm giving him a piece of my mind. And you do it. And if you do it willfully and consciously, no, I'm sorry for you. You just undid all the work you did, right? So you do the best that you can. And what comes back from the best that you can is your teacher, isn't it? I'm going to play tennis. I'm going to coach. I'm going to do the best I can. When I hit into the net, that's the part I need to learn. What was I doing wrong? How was I standing wrong? You don't need a coach when you get it across. It's the same thing with life. Now, we've talked about outer growth and inner growth. The ideal is you stay conscious. Meditation helps. A lot of things help. Just do what helps you stay centered and conscious. Things are going to come up. Good. You don't want them in there. Those are blocking your Shakti flow. You want them to come up. In fact, somebody's going to find out that the Shakti is pushing them up. That river is trying to push the blockages out of the way. Therefore, they're going to come up. So you like it, you love it, you start worshiping it, you start honoring and respecting it. The Gita says, that which is the light of day to the man of the world is the dark of night to the yogi. And that which is the dark of night to the man of the world is the light of day to a yogi. That's what it's talking about. You're welcome to come up. Come on up. Come on up. But it hurts. It's a pain that ends all pain. It's the pain of soul birth instead of childbirth. Okay? All right. So we had a nice discussion. I always talk about the outside growth. You're growing. You're growing no matter what, right? But it could be pretty slow, right? And if you do the inner work, the outer work will help you. You'll learn what you did. Sometimes you think, I did this perfectly. And you find out, oh my God, was I stupid? That's wonderful. That means you grew, doesn't it? All right. So we're going into a new year. And you get to have another shot to circle the sun. And what you're supposed to be doing while you circle the sun is what I just taught you, isn't it? All right. Work on these things. Jai Gurudev.